Ready for Hollywood. Open the pod bay doors, Hal. Oh, hello there. I'm Stan the Movie Man, and this is my weekly-ish movie review. After some illness and some problems with cars, too much information to really go into, I'm finally back in the theaters, and I've seen two this week. I saw Hail Caesar and Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Let's start with Hail Caesar. First, the Coen brothers, back on the big screen, with the story of 40s, 50s Hollywood. It is a story of a fixer, a guy by the name of Eddie Mannix. Now, Eddie takes care of things for Capitol Studios. If there's a problem with the star, he handles it. If there's a unplanned pregnancy, he handles it. If there's a need for, paying off the cops, he handles it. Eddie is very good at his job. And he's sort of pushed to the limit on one particular picture called Hail Caesar, the Story of the Christ, which is a sword and sandal epic starring Baird Whitlock, played by George Clooney. It seems Baird has disappeared. Now he has a history of needing to dry out or going to spend the night with a girlfriend, but this time he's been kidnapped by a bunch of communist writers who are looking to destroy the studio system from within. See, this is around the time of the Red Scare, and they are angry that they have not been what they feel properly compensated for their work. They espouse the ideas of a perfect communist society, but really what they're angry about is that they just aren't getting paid the money they think they should be. Eddie is trying to get Baird back while fending off the interest of a couple of gossip columnists, twin sisters, both played by Tilda Swinton. And there's a huge cast of characters involved in this story. May not be the best Coen Brothers movie, but it's certainly enjoyable. If you like a look kind of behind the scenes, behind the camera, if you will, of Hollywood, this has got a lot of juicy tidbits in it. And based on some things that I've heard over the years, a lot of this kind of thing happened. Maybe not the kidnapping of a big star by a bunch of communist writers, but it's an entertaining film that gives you sort of a peek behind the curtain, if you will. Maybe not up there with my favorite Coen Brothers movie, which is No Country for Old Men, and maybe not quite as madcap or slapstick as something like Raising Arizona. Still, a very enjoyable Coen Brothers movie. I'm giving it 4 stars. Now let's move on to Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, based on the mashup novel of the same name. London, England, is under siege by a zombie horde. They've built a wall, and inside the wall they've built a huge deep moat, and there's only one bridge that connects what they call the in-between to the clean part of the country. And there's these attacks that seem coordinated. Meanwhile, you have the drawing room kind of English manners drama about people of different stations trying to get married, and jealousy and class struggle and all of that. Here's the problem with Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. It's more Pride and Prejudice than it is and Zombies. It really is kind of a very serious treatment of the subject matter, even when they, are engaged in trying to make the material funny. It isn't terribly. It also isn't scary at all. It's kind of gross at times, especially an early scene of a young woman whose part of her nose is gone, and she looks up and she blows a snot bubble. She's a zombie. That's gross, certainly, but not terribly scary. The movie isn't terribly anything except serious about itself, And I think that's the main problem with Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Needed to be either be more scary or more funny or more madcap. As it is, it's just sort of blah. That's why I'm only giving it 2 stars. Go to StanTheMovieMan.com to read my complete reviews and follow me on Twitter at MovieManStan. Till next time, toodles.